picture this like your hearing aids. They don't just adjust to where you are, but they can figure out how you like to listen and even tell your audiologist if something seems off.
Like it's broken or?
Yeah, like something's wrong. It's like sci-fi, but it's real.
That's wild.
AI is making it happen, and we're going to unpack all of it.
That's cool.
This thing called Tuned, it's totally changing the game.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
So Tuned, it's not just an idea.
Right.
It's a real deal. FDA-approved AI application.
Wow.
And it's made for those over-the-counter hearing aids.
So it's official.
It is. This is a total shift.
Not just some, experiment.
Not at all.
Interesting.
Our source, Alfonso Catafal Martinez, he lays it all out in his article.
I've been meaning to read that one.
It's a must-read. Seriously, anyone in here, health clinicians, managers, everyone. Because this is about navigating a whole new world.
Sure.
So why is Tune such a big deal?
Okay, well, first, that FDA approval back in September 2023, that was huge.
That was a big one.
It basically made AI legit in the U.S. market,
Right.
especially for stuff like those over-the-counter hearing aids,
Uh-huh.
which, Hearing Tracker said haven't really taken off yet.
Yeah, huge.
Tuned can change that.
Totally. So we're not just talking about some fancy algorithm here. This is legit tech.
Right. It's official.
Clinically validated, legally recognized, the whole 9 yards.
I see.
So what's the big idea behind Tuned? What problem are they solving?
It's about personalization and user experience.
Uh-huh.
Two things that hearing healthcare hasn't always been great at.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like trying to connect the technical side of audiology with how hearing loss actually affects people, psychologically.
So it's not just making things louder. It's got to sound good and feel right for the person, right?
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Tuned walks users through everything, from that first hearing test to fitting and then rehab.
Oh, wow. So
It's like a virtual audiologist in your pocket.
Nah.
Yeah, it does guided hearing tests, personalizes adjustments based on what you need, and gives you support along the way with this super advanced chatbot.
Okay, but let's be real. Chatbot support can be a little iffy sometimes.
I know what you mean.
Is this one actually intelligent, or is it just more automation?
This is where it gets cool. Tune's chatbot uses AI in a whole new way.
How so?
It doesn't just give you pre-programmed answers.
Yeah.
It learns from every interaction.
Oh, wow.
So it's getting smarter over time.
That's impressive.
Imagine a chatbot that can answer your basic questions, but it can also give you advice that's tailored to your hearing and your life.
That's pretty amazing. And I love that it works on iPhones and Androids.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
It opens it up to so many people.
Exactly.
Which goes right along with their goal of making hearing healthcare available to everyone.
That's key.
Right.
FDA-approved AI solutions like this could break down so many barriers, especially in places where people don't have easy access to care.
I see what you mean.
Think about a future where it doesn't matter where you live or how much money you have. Everyone can get good hearing care.
Now, that would be a game changer.
Right.
Especially for people who maybe can't easily get to an audiologist or afford those traditional hearing aids.
Absolutely.
This is really interesting, but it can't all be perfect, right?
Yeah, well,
There's got to be some downsides.
I mean, if Tuned is successful, it could create some challenges for the industry, too.
Like what?
Traditional hearing aid companies, they might have to step up their game,
Uh-huh.
innovate faster to keep up with the competition. Otherwise, they risk getting left behind.
This is like a wake-up call for the industry.
Pretty much.
To embrace AI and all it can do.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And this brings us to how the audiology business model might have to change.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Right now, it's very much a full-service approach.
You go in and they do everything.
Exactly. But with self-fitting apps like Tuned, we could see things shift toward a model with more self-service. It'd be more focused on the product and the technology, with built-in support.
That could really change how audiology centers make money.
For sure.
It's like what happened with music.
Oh, so.
Remember when everyone bought CDs? Now it's all about streaming service.
Oh, but yeah, I see what you mean.
The whole way we pay for and experience hearing healthcare could be disrupted.
It's a good analogy.
And it makes you wonder what's going to happen to audiologists. What will their role be in this new world?
It's a question worth exploring.
Okay, so we've got FDA approval, personalized care, easier access, and potential disruption.
A lot to unpack.
This is getting good, but before we keep going, let's break down exactly how AI is integrated into these customer and resource management systems. What does that even look like in practice?
So think about it this way. AI inside CRM and resource management systems. It's all about using data to make things run smoother, make interactions more personal, and ultimately give people a better experience.
Okay, that sounds great in theory. But can you give me an example? I'm more of a hands-on learner.
Okay, imagine this. Someone buys a hearing aid through an app like Tuned. All their data, from their hearing test to their sound settings, it all goes into a CRM system.
So it's like a digital record of what the patient's been through.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
But here's where AI comes in. Let's say the CRM sees that the person hasn't been wearing their hearing aids as much.
That's not good.
Right, it could mean something's wrong. Maybe they're having trouble with the technology, or maybe the hearing aids aren't working for them.
Yeah,
So instead of waiting for them to make an appointment, or even worse, just stop using the hearing aids altogether, the AI can start a conversation with them through the chatbot.
That's cool.
Yeah, the chatbot can gently ask how they're doing, see if they need help with anything, maybe even suggest some adjustments to the settings.
So it's like a virtual assistant
Right.
that's always looking out for the patient.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And the best part is, the whole interaction can be personalized. Based on the data in the CRM, the chatbot can change its language, its suggestions, even its tone of voice, to match the patient's personality and preferences.
You couldn't do that with traditional methods.
Not really.
It takes the whole patient-audiologist relationship to a different level.
It really does.
But what about privacy?
That's a great question.
All this data.
It's sensitive information.
How do we make sure it's being handled responsibly?
That's crucial. And the industry needs to address it head on.
Totally.
As we move toward more data-driven care, we have to make sure patient data is protected.
And used ethically.
Absolutely.
Transparency and trust are so important.
I agree.
Patients need to feel confident that their information is being used to help them, not to make money off of them.
That's a great point.
It all ties back to the role of audiologists
Right. How does that change?
as AI takes over some of the more routine tasks.
Like basic troubleshooting,
Mm-hmm.
or even those initial hearing assessments. Audiologists can focus on the more complex stuff.
The stuff that really needs their expertise.
Exactly, things like counseling and rehabilitation.
So it's less about being a technician
Yeah,
and more about being a consultant or advisor.
precisely.
That's interesting.
And it could open up new opportunities for audiologists to specialize
Oh, I see.
in areas like tinnitus management or auditory processing disorders, where human expertise is still essential.
So AI isn't replacing audiologists, it's giving them superpowers.
Exactly.
That's a good way to put it.
It's helping them provide even more specialized care.
That makes a lot of sense.
And this brings us back to the business model of audiology centers.
Right. How will all this affect their bottom line?
As we embrace this new era of AI-powered care, the way we structure our services and make money might need to change.
We talked about that a little earlier.
Oh, we did.
But let's dig a little deeper.
Okay.
What are some specific ways that AI could impact the finances of audiology centers?
Well, for one, it could lead to a shift away from the traditional fee-for-service model.
I see.
Imagine a world where patients pay a monthly subscription. For an app like Tuned,
Like Netflix for your ears.
sort of,
Oh.
that subscription includes ongoing support remote adjustments, even upgrades as new features come out.
That's like software as a service. It's everywhere these days.
It's
You pay a little bit every month.
instead of a big chunk of money up front,
Right.
this could make hearing healthcare more affordable, especially for younger people. They're used to subscriptions.
That's true. But wouldn't that cut into the money that audiology centers make from selling hearing aids?
It might, but it also creates an opportunity to make money in new ways.
Okay, I like that.
Audiology centers could offer premium services like in-depth consultations, specialized testing, personalized counseling, things that go beyond what the app provides.
So it's not just about using new technology. It's about rethinking the whole business model
Exactly.
and finding creative ways to use AI.
To make things better for patients and improve the bottom line.
It's a win-win.
Hopefully.
But audiology centers have to be proactive
I agree.
and embrace change.
Instead of resisting it,
The ones that adapt quickly and invest in AI.
they're the ones that will thrive.
It's all about staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly.
But let's be real. Not every audiology center has the money to invest in all this fancy AI tech.
That's true.
So what can they do?
That's where partnerships and collaborations come in.
I see.
Smaller practices could team up, share resources, or use cloud-based AI platforms. They're more affordable.
So it's not just about competition. It's about working together,
Right.
using each other's strength.
To navigate this new world of AI-driven audiology.
Exactly.
And that collaborative spirit will be essential.
as we deal with the ethical and societal implications of AI in healthcare.
Good point.
Right.
We talked about data privacy,
Uh-huh.
but there's also the issue of algorithmic bias
Right.
and the potential for AI to make existing healthcare disparities even worse.
Those are tough issues,
They are.
and they require careful thought and open discussion.
Definitely.
We need to make sure AI is being used to promote fairness and access, not to create new barriers. It's a call to action for the whole industry
I agree.
to come together and shape the future of AI in audiology in a way that benefits everyone.
Well said.
And that brings us to the heart of Alfonso Catafal Martinez's article. He's not just talking about technology, he's talking about a revolution in audiology.
A revolution.
It's about transforming how we diagnose, treat, and manage hearing loss.
And AI is the driving force behind it.
Exactly.
It's allowing us to do things we never thought possible.
Like real-time quality control and incident detection.
Yeah, it's like AI is becoming a guardian angel for hearing aids,
I like that.
constantly monitoring their performance
Yeah.
and alerting the user and the audiologist if something goes wrong.
It's proactive care at its best.
Imagine a chatbot that detects a problem with sound quality and immediately notifies the audiologist.
They can then contact the patient.
Right, troubleshoot the issue remotely or schedule an appointment if needed.
It's a level of responsiveness and personalized attention that we've never seen before.
It's taking patient care to a whole new level.
But AI's impact goes beyond just troubleshooting. The article also talks about how it can be used to ensure quality service delivery.
It's about creating a culture of continuous improvement.
I like that.
Imagine a chatbot that schedules follow-up appointments and then sends out satisfaction surveys after the appointment.
That feedback is so valuable
It is.
for improving protocols and maintaining a high standard of care.
It's all about making sure the patient is at the center of everything we do.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to another crucial aspect, validating the effectiveness of the products and services we provide.
So how do we measure effectiveness in a way that goes beyond simple satisfaction surveys?
That's where the power of data really shines. The article highlights the difference between the old way of doing things, with occasional follow-ups, and the kind of continuous monitoring that AI can provide.
Okay, I'm listening.
We're talking about detailed reports on exactly how patients use their devices in the real world.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, they had this great example of a chatbot that generates daily reports for people who are trying out new hearing aids.
Daily reports?
Yeah.
Okay, what's in those reports?
Things like total usage time, the types of environments the user is in, even how many times they adjust the settings.
Wow, that's a lot of information.
It is.
But what does that allow the audiologist to do?
It lets them go beyond just reacting to what a patient says during an appointment. They can proactively fine-tune the hearing aids based on actual usage patterns,
Yeah, that's incredible.
leading to a more personalized and effective experience.
It's about exceeding the patient's expectations.
Yes.
And making the transition to hearing aids as smooth as possible.
Exactly.
But where else can AI help besides this direct patient care?
Well, the article dives into how AI can revolutionize customer retention and even marketing.
Marketing.
It all starts with understanding user needs in a much deeper way.
Okay, give me an example. How does AI change that understanding?
Let's say your CRM system notices that a user isn't wearing their hearing aids as much as they used to. The AI can then trigger a chatbot conversation to find out why.
That makes sense.
Maybe they're having technical difficulties. Or maybe the hearing aids aren't meeting their needs in certain situations.
So it's a proactive check-in
Exactly.
to make sure everything is okay.
And because it's AI-driven, it can happen on a large scale, even if you have thousands of patients.
That's impressive.
By analyzing the data from these interactions, you can start to identify patterns.
Like what kinds of patterns?
Maybe there's a specific issue that keeps coming up with a certain type of hearing aid or with users in a particular demographic.
That's valuable information.
It is.
It allows you to improve your products, refine your protocols, and ultimately provide a better experience for everyone.
And that's just the beginning. AI can also be a powerful tool for marketing.
Really?
It can help you segment your audience based on factors like age, lifestyle, or even their listening preferences.
So instead of sending out generic marketing messages,
Mm,
you can tailor your message to specific groups.
exactly.
That's much more effective.
And less likely to annoy people.
That's for sure.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
I like that.
And when you combine AI-powered marketing with personalized care and continuous monitoring, you create a truly customer-centric experience.
That sounds great. But what about the bottom line? How does all this AI magic translate into actual business results?
The article argues that AI can help you assess the financial health of your business model.
Okay.
It can measure things like return on investment and customer acquisition costs.
So you can see what's working and what's not.
Exactly.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about hard data that can help you make smart decisions about your business.
They had a really compelling example. Let's say your data shows that the cost of acquiring a new customer drops by 20% when they interact with your chatbot before making a purchase.
That's significant.
It is.
It shows that the chatbot is a worthwhile investment.
It's like having a financial advisor who's always looking out for your best interests.
That's a great way to put it.
And the best part is that AI is constantly evolving, so the possibilities are only going to expand in the future.
That's exciting and a little scary at the same time.
I know what you mean.
As we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear that AI isn't just some futuristic fantasy. It's here now. And it's transforming audiology in big ways.
It really is.
It's giving us the tools to provide more personalized, effective, and accessible hearing healthcare than ever before.
And while we've explored some specific examples today, it's important to remember that we're just scratching the surface.
There's so much more to come.
Alfonso Catafal Martinez hinted that his next article will go even deeper into the world of AI-powered audiology. He's going to simulate interactions between users, audiologists, and hearing aids.
That sounds fascinating.
I can't wait to read it.
Me too. But for now, we want to leave you with this thought. How can you apply what we've discussed today to your own practice or business? Could you use AI to streamline your operations, improve your marketing, or enhance the patient experience?
The possibilities are endless.
They really are.
And it's up to each of us to explore how AI can help us achieve our goals and create a brighter future for hearing healthcare.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI and audiology. Until next time, keep those ears open and those minds engaged.
See you next time. So we were talking about validating how well products and services work.
Right, going beyond just asking if people are happy.
Exactly. It's about using data to see how effective things really are.
Okay.
And the article makes this great point about continuous monitoring with AI. It's like night and day compared to those old school follow-ups that happen once in a blue moon.
I see what you mean.
We're talking detailed reports on how people are actually using their devices day to day.
So like real-world data.
Precisely.
I like it.
They had this cool example with a chatbot. Imagine it generates daily reports for people trying out new hearing aids.
Daily reports, wow.
Yep, packed with info.
Like what kind of stuff?
Okay, so think about total usage time. What kind of environments they're in, like noisy versus quiet, even how many times they tweak the settings.
That's a ton of data.
It is, but here's the key. What can the audiologist do with all that?
Right, that's the important part.
It's not just about reacting to what the patient says during an appointment anymore. It's about being proactive.
I like that.
Fine-tuning the hearing aids based on real-world use.
So it's truly personalized.
Exactly, and way more effective.
It's like going above and beyond what the patient even expects.
Totally, making that whole transition to hearing aids so much smoother.
But where else can AI help? Besides the direct patient care stuff.
Well, the article talks about how it can revolutionize customer retention.
Keeping people coming back.
And even marketing.
Oh, interesting.
It all starts with understanding what users need on a much deeper level.
Okay, how does AI do that?
Picture this. Your CRM system sees that someone's not wearing their hearing aids as much as before.
That's a red flag.
It is so the AI can trigger a chatbot conversation.
Like a check-in.
Exactly, just to see what's up. Maybe there are technical issues, or maybe the hearing aids aren't quite cutting it in certain situations.
So the chatbot can figure that out.
And because it's AI-driven, it can handle tons of these conversations, even if you have a huge patient base.
That's powerful.
And then by analyzing all the data from those chats, you start seeing patterns.
Like what?
Maybe a certain type of hearing aid has a recurring problem, or maybe users in a specific age group have similar complaints.
That's gold.
It is, because you can use that to improve your products, make your processes better, and in the end, deliver a better experience for everyone.
I'm seeing the potential here.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We can even use AI for marketing.
Really?
It can help you divide your audience into groups, based on things like age, how they live their lives, even what kind of sounds they prefer.
So instead of sending out those generic marketing blasts,
right,
you can tailor your message.
Exactly. Make it relevant.
Much more effective.
And way less annoying.
For sure, no one wants to be bombarded with irrelevant ads.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
I like that a lot.
And when you combine AI-powered marketing with that personalized care and the continuous monitoring we were talking about, You create a truly customer-focused experience.
It all comes together.
It does.
But let's not forget the bottom line here. How does all this AI stuff actually impact a business?
Well, the article argues that AI can help you figure out how healthy your business model is.
Okay. In what way?
It can track things like return on investment and how much it costs to get a new customer.
Those are important numbers.
They are. It shows you what's working and what's not.
So you can make changes if needed.
Exactly.
So it's not just about warm, fuzzy feelings. It's about real data that helps you make smart decisions.
They give a great example. Let's say your data shows that it costs you 20% less to acquire a new customer if they chat with your chatbot before buying something.
Wow, that's a big difference.
It means the chatbot is paying for itself.
Like having a financial advisor on your team.
Exactly. And the best part is AI is constantly evolving. The possibilities are only going to get bigger and better.
That's both exciting and a little daunting.
I know what you mean. It's a lot to take in.
So as we move into the next part of our deep dive, it's clear that AI isn't some far-off fantasy. It's already making waves in audiology,
It really is.
giving us tools we never thought possible.
And we've only just begun to explore what it can do.
Right. We've covered some specific examples.
There's so much more to uncover.
Alfonso Catafal Martinez hinted that his next article will go even deeper.
Oh yeah, he mentioned simulating interactions between users, audiologists, and hearing aids.
I can't wait to read that.
Me neither. It sounds fascinating.
But for now, we want to leave you with a question. How can you use what we've talked about today in your own work, whether it's your practice or your business? Could you use AI to streamline things, improve your marketing, or maybe create a better experience for your patients?
There are so many possibilities.
It's up to each of us to explore how AI can help us reach our goals and build a brighter future for hearing healthcare.
Well said. It's about proving that what we're doing actually makes a difference.
And AI can help with that.
Big time. It's not just about satisfaction surveys anymore.
Right. You got to go deeper.
The article highlights this shift from like occasional check-ins to continuous monitoring.
Okay. I like that.
AI can keep tabs on things 24/7.
Makes sense.
We're talking detailed reports on how patients are using their devices in the real world.
So it's not just what they tell you in the appointment.
Exactly. It's the actual data.
They had that example with the chatbot.
Oh, yeah, the one generating those daily reports.
For people trying out new hearing aids.
Yep, full of insights.
So what kind of stuff is in those reports?
So you've got total usage time. How long are they wearing them each day? What kinds of environments are they in? Are they mostly in quiet places or noisy places? Even how often they're adjusting the settings themselves.
Wow. That's a lot of info.
It is, but think about what the audiologist can do with that.
Right. That's the key.
It's not just reacting to what the patient says anymore. It's being proactive,
I like how.
making adjustments based on how the person is actually using the devices.
So much more personalized.
And way more effective.
It's like going above and beyond.
Totally making that whole transition to hearing aids so much smoother.
Okay, but let's shift gears for a sec.
Yeah.
What about the business side of things?
Right. How does AI help with that?
The article talked about customer retention and marketing.
It's all about understanding those user needs on a much deeper level.
So give me an example. How does AI change that?
Let's say your CRM system picks up on someone not wearing their hearing aids as much as they used to.
Okay, that's a red flag.
It could be so the AI can trigger a chatbot conversation.
Like a check-in.
Exactly, just to see what's going on.
I like it.
Maybe they're having trouble with the technology. Or maybe the hearing aids aren't working for them in certain situations.
So the chatbot can help figure that out.
And because it's AI, it can handle a ton of these conversations at once.
So you can scale it up.
Exactly, even with a huge patient base.
And then when you analyze all that data,
Right, you start to see patterns.
like what kind of patterns?
Maybe there's a specific problem that keeps popping up with a certain type of hearing aid. Or maybe people in a certain age group have similar complaints.
That's valuable insight.
It is, you can use it to make your products better, refine your processes, ultimately deliver a better experience for everyone.
All connected.
It is, and that's just the beginning. We can even use AI for marketing.
Marketing, that's interesting.
It can help you segment your audience, divide them into groups based on things like age, lifestyle, or even what kinds of sounds they prefer.
So instead of sending everyone the same generic message,
Right, you can target your marketing.
make it more relevant.
Exactly, and way less annoying.
No one wants to be bombarded with ads that you apply to them.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
And when you combine that AI-powered marketing with the personalized care and the continuous monitoring,
You create a truly customer-focused experience.
it all comes together.
It does.
But let's talk about the bottom line for a minute. How does all this AI stuff translate into actual business results?
Well, the article argues that AI can help you assess the financial health of your business model.
Interesting, how so?
It can track things like your return on investment and how much it costs to acquire a new customer.
Okay, so you can see what's working and what's not.
Exactly, and make adjustments as needed.
It's not just about good intentions. It's about having the data to back it up.
They gave a great example. Let's say your data shows that it costs you 20% less to get a new customer. If they interact with your chatbot before making a purchase,
That's huge.
it means that chatbot is a worthwhile investment.
Like having a financial whiz on your team.
And the best part is AI is constantly evolving, so the possibilities are endless.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear that AI is transforming audiology in some pretty amazing ways.
It's giving us the power to personalize care, make it more effective and accessible than ever before.
And while we've covered some specific examples today, this is really just the tip of the iceberg.
There's so much more to explore.
And we can't wait to see what the future holds for AI in audiology.
Me neither. It's an exciting time to be in this field.
It really is. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.